And welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Medic Regional Blood Center. More than 24 area hospitals depend on Medic for blood, for platelets, and plasma. And right now they have a critical need for convalescent plasma. Medic depends on us to provide those blood supplies for those hospitals. Do your part this week. Medicblood.org to schedule an appointment. It takes about 45 minutes. It's easy to do. Call first, get an appointment, and stop in and give blood. It's a great way to give back to your community. Medic Regional Blood Center is just a tremendous organization. We appreciate them for being part of the Sports Source. All right, the AP put out its top 25 this week, and Tennessee is number 25. Interestingly, Big Ten, Pac-12 teams and teams that aren't going to be playing are still in the top 25, this first one. But eventually, you're going to weed that down. I think there are currently 76 Division I teams that are planning to play this fall. So my question is, Tennessee's in the first AP top 25. Will they be in the last AP top 25 this year?
I'm going to go yes, because you are weeding out the teams from the Big Ten and the Pac-12 and two other conferences that are not playing this year. So when you get down to those numbers, it favors you. They will. I feel confident in this one, and I hate saying this, but I think there's going to be a 5-5 team that gets ranked in the top 25 just because they're the process of elimination with a lot of other teams. If Tennessee's 6-4, I think they're guaranteed in the top 25. I think at 5-5 they might make it. But just because so many teams are eliminated, I'm going to answer that as yes.
Okay, we got Tennessee finishing in the top 25.
I'm going to say yes because of that limited field, but with hesitation still, because like Jimmy said, it may not be many 5-5 teams that sneak in, and 5-5 is going to be a popular pick for Tennessee with that tougher schedule now. So I think there's still a chance you could finish outside, but I'll say yes because I think there's still enough of a chance Tennessee goes 6-4, and even at 5-5 they might sneak in.
I think it's going to depend on how the pollsters look at records this year and how strong a conference is. Before the segment, you take out the Big Ten. I didn't do this yesterday. Take out the Big Ten, Pac-12. Tennessee would move from 25 to what? 16? Okay, so they're really starting at 16. Josh, do you think they finish in the top 25?
Well, at the end of last week's show, you had us do record predictions, right? And so you forced me.
And you said 0-10.
That's right. I did say 5-5, which was among the lowest numbers. So I'll say among instead of just the lowest number, which it was during this segment. So 5-5 could get them into the top 25, as Jimmy mentioned. I'll say no that they're not there. But if 5-5 is a win against Florida to close out the season, then I'll switch my answer. If they close out with a win against the Gators to 5-5, 6-4 or better, I agree they're in the top 25.
Yeah, I think if you lose to the 5 good teams, and somebody's going to surprise us and be good that we didn't count on. Somebody's going to be bad that we didn't count on. But if it plays out as we expect right now, and the other 5 teams that are ranked, you lose to them and you beat 5 teams that aren't ranked, that makes it more questionable as to whether or not you stay in there. I'm going to avoid the ugly emails. I'll say they finish in the top 25, but I said 5-5 as well. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Josh makes a good point here. 3 of Tennessee's last 4 games are Auburn, Texas A&M, and Florida. So if you finish the season with losses to those teams, finishing on a low note might make it more likely to finish outside. So if that goes as expected and you lose to those 5 teams, maybe going to be tough to stay in the top 25.
Well, they remember what you do in December.
That's right. That's right.
It is going to be interesting, though, to see I suppose you will have to have a top 25 in the spring for those 4 conferences, the Big Ten, Pac-12, MAC, and Mountain West. If they play in the spring, I guess you would have a top 25 then, too. And so technically you could have, we were number 1 in the AP poll. So were we. We just played 3 months later.
Or do you constantly update the top 25 with the teams that have finished their season alongside the teams that aren't finished? Do you keep updating it? I've wondered about that too. It's a possibility, maybe.
Everything's possible. Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Next week, we're going to do our annual All VFL show. We do one of these before the season every year. This year is going to be a little smaller. Obviously, we're going to have 15 guys in here, but we will have 3 VFLs join us next week to talk about the season ahead. We appreciate you for joining us. Go see our sponsors. We'll see you right back here next week.